Welcome back to Kevin Toll Reads. Hope you're doing well. It is Sunday. It is Mother's Day. It's been a busy week. I have a lot to talk about. Let's get started. It's going to be a doozy. So it is time for the weekly wrap up. I hope you're doing well, and let's dive right in because there is a lot to talk about. Let's talk about books last week. And so I was able to make some headway. I read about 100 pages in Count of Monte Cristo. So it was a busy week for me, personally and professionally. And so I didn't feel like I got enough of this done, but I did read some other things. So this is going to be a priority this week. We'll talk more about that. I have about 400 pages left in the Count of Monte Cristo. I did read Thomas's book and reviewed it on the channel. Thomas McNulty, Trail of the Burned Man. Really enjoyed it. Had a lot of fun reading this. I read Nightmare in Pink, which is book 2 in the Travis McGee series by John D. McDonald. I will do a book review in the near term, sometime in the future, maybe this week. So be on the lookout for that. I finished the last half of Hyperion by Dan Simmons. This is for our Books, Bros, and Banter book club, and so more to come on that. I read 4 short stories in the collection Night Shift by Stephen King. I read The Mangler, Trucks, Battleground, and Strawberry Spring. I read and reviewed these for Saturday Shorts yesterday, and I did that knowing, I was going to have a busy day yesterday. Yesterday was graduation from college for Carly, my middle child, and yeah, it was a lot of fun, long day, and a very, very good day, though. So a lot of hard work that she put in over the course of many, many years, and so all that come to kind of an emotional finalization, and so it was a good day, though. A lot of fun with family, and so in terms of reading, in terms of everything going on, I felt like I did a pretty decent job, all things considered. I wish I would have got a little further in the Count of Monte Cristo, but there was just a lot going on. But it is what it is. That's life. And so my average rating was a 4.0, not to give a couple of these books scores away to you because we still haven't done some different things, and more to come on the TV or the ETA on the book club review of Hyperion. So I'll talk about that in a minute. But that's the books I read last week. So let's dive right and talk about videos last week. I did 7 videos last week. I did a weekly wrap-up, book mail, I did a book haul, I did a let me know video, I did a book tag, I did a book review of Thomas's book, and I did Saturday Shorts. So it's a busy week. And so let's dive right in and talk about BookTube Community because there was a lot of different posts. I really appreciate all the feedback on the post I did yesterday regarding Carly's graduation. I really and truly appreciate that. It was more of me letting you know, like, hey, here's something here's a fun thing, but also, like, I might not be as active on YouTube yesterday because of everything going on, and I know you all appreciate that and understand, so I really appreciate the feedback, though. I got this morning to try to catch up on things and comments, and I really appreciate everyone's comments. I really do. That was really nice of you all. And so here is people that have commented, subscribed, in various, videos this past week. Odd Audie Online, Storm Reads, Brian MR Pronic 1, Already Overbooked, Novel Insights, Jeff Lugal, Cave of Cool Books, Luigi, Bing Lamb, Twice Born by Grace, Kelly Loves Books and Movies, The Imaginarium, Andrew Helm, 2813, Jack Yo, Stephen Everett 7, Some Other Character, Kelly Reads a Lot, Lemonade 435, Books with Becky, Book Chat with Pat, Faceless, Melissa Says Hi, Ryan E. Logan 5540, Just Don 6288, Secret Fire Books, Stuart Griffin, Robert G. Reader of Books, Adventures in Literature, Professor X, CG Rated Books, Sanchit Away, Book Buds, Sue Jackson, Storm Reads, Ingrid Fitz, Books, Girls, Gers and Purrs, Dobby Book 63, Sean Holt, Nicole's Bookish Nook, Richard Adcock 5450, Tilt Golf, Dab 505279, Pulp Mortem, Ted, An Erudite Adventure, Ginger Bibliophile, Hide and Read, Maeve Ever Reading, Raj Sakar, Dilly Reads, Big Hard Books, Read and Reread, The Book Graveyard, Just Book Girl TV, Hannah's Books, Read by Fred, Talia Nerds Out, Reading Ideas, Vince Corner, Lynn's12, and Marie Lalonde. You all were commenters, subscribers in the videos. I really appreciate all of the feedback and comments. I responded to everyone. At least I think I did. If I didn't, comment, let me know, hold me accountable. But really appreciate all you guys' feedback. I really do, really. And so that is a nice segue into comment of the week. I have a couple. I couldn't just pick one, and so I wanted to throw out there. So, recently I tried some music in some of my videos, and, obviously that's still making the rounds, and humor, as Faceless, of all people, my nemesis, chimed in about adding the music back in the videos because it would drown out the sound of my voice. And lo and behold, Pat from Book Chat with Pat came to my defense of my honor, and set Faceless, on the straight and narrow. Very, very timely, very motherly of Pat. So yeah, we got to appreciate the humor plus the, keeping, us two boys from, doing battle. And then another comment that I got was from Tim at Secret Fire Books. I did the clean slate book tag, and he threw out there in one of the comments about, one of the questions was, who would you pick to write your story? And he was thinking it would be really cool if Robert E. Howard would do it, but he would probably be written by someone like Brandon Sanderson, where it would be bloated and whatnot. So Tim was throwing out some low-key shade to Brandon Sanderson, which I thought was kind of funny. And then lastly, Logan at Novel Insights. And so I did a book haul, a really good one this past week, and I got a lot of historical fiction by the author Patrick O'Brien. I did get quite a bit of like a 22 or 23 book series, but I did have specific ones that I mentioned that I didn't have, like book number this and this. And yeah, Logan was like, yeah, I heard those are really good. And the ones I didn't have kind of thing. And I thought that was kind of funny from Logan as well. And so those are the comments of the week from this past week. And so moving on, let's talk a little bit about BookTuber Spotlight. I have two channels I wanted to spotlight this week. The first is Professor X, Xavier at Professor X. I've been a longtime subscriber of his channel. He has been a longtime subscriber of mine. Xavier is a really great BookTuber, friend of mine. He comments a lot on my videos. I like his reviews. He's very unapologetic in his reviews. In his approach. He's been reading a lot of Kid and Llewellyn books lately, and I really enjoy how he keeps it real. He'll offer me feedback, suggestions. I really appreciate that. He's not shy about it, and I think he's just very unapologetic, and I like that. I really enjoy his red, yellow, and green kind of recommendation light thing he does. I thought that's really cool. And then the next one is Sean Holt. This is a new channel that I just subscribed to because he recently did the Reading Ticks tag over the course of the last week, and he tagged me in, obviously, as the creator of it, and so I was able to subscribe to his channel. I kind of did some poking around. He recently did a book haul. Also recently did a book review, an in-depth review of Sphere by Michael Crichton, and got into his likes and dislikes of the book. I'm still getting into his channel. He has a very distinctive voice, and so I think it's definitely an interesting channel, and you should check it out. Both Professor X and Sean have really good channels, so you definitely is worth your while to subscribe and check out their channels. And so let's talk about upcoming reading and videos. And so this week, obviously, I'm going to be making some headway. I would like to get this done this week. Not that I'm trying to rush the thing, but it would be nice. I have a pretty stout rest of May to get through. They're quick reads, but at the same time, I'm not going to push it. But if I can really find some good blocks of time and really enjoy this thing, continue to enjoy this thing, I would like to get it done this week. I'm not going to kill myself doing it, but I'm really enjoying it. I want to try to get some headway made this week. I'm still on pace to complete it by May. It was an April-May read, so I'm still in a really good position. And then I have two books I wanted to read this week from my TBR. Book number 7 in the Evan Tanner series by Lawrence Block, Me, Tanner, You, Jane. I want to definitely check that out. I've been missing some Evan Tanner. And then I want to read Obsidian Murders by Nicole Brana from Nicole's Bookish Nook. It is the book 1 in her Midnight Detective Agency series, I believe. And so I definitely want to check that out. It seems like a fun read. I just got done reading Thomas's book. I'm really interested in reading Nicole's book as well, especially considering the main character here, her name is Tessa. And so I thought that was really neat. And so those are my reads. I want to do these 2 books along with Count of Monte Cristo this week, and that's what I have on the plan. In terms of videos this week, it's probably going to be a very slow week for me in terms of videos. I do have a tag that I'm working on and trying to finalize and edit. Well, I should say I'm trying to upload, and so that's going to be coming. I would like to do my review of Nightmare in Pink by John D. MacDonald, and I've got an author picked and some stories picked for Saturday Shorts, and that's probably going to be it. I'm probably only going to have like maybe 3 videos this week. I'm really kind of wanting to focus on work, for one. Secondly, focus on reading this week, and I got some more work to do on the library video, which is a nice segue into what's in the works. I want to get that done. That's ETA is May 29th for that video to be launched. And so I'm definitely trying to put, the finalizations on that video. Like I've said in previous videos, I keep going back and forth about different things because I just, I want it to be good. And I'm kind of coming to the point where it's like, okay, just accept it is what it is. You've done your best and go with it. And so, yeah, I'm putting the finishing touches on it as well. And then, the Secret Book Club. So books, bros, and banter. We should be talking about Hyperion on next Sunday on May 18th. I think that's the tentative plan for us to have a live stream and talk about Hyperion. So more should be coming on the exact time and an invitation. So be on the lookout for that. But yeah, I'm excited to talk about Hyperion by Dan Simmons. And that is what's in the works now. Oh, one other thing. I'm very eager and excited to talk about these books right here, because that is my TBR list for June on the Range. So that is going to be forthcoming probably, I won't say this week unless I get, kind of motivated, but it could be probably the following week. I'll launch my June TBR for June on the Range. One of them is going to include a buddy read, and I bet you can't guess who I'll be buddy reading with. Of all the people. But anyways, but that's my weekly wrap up for this week. I hope you enjoyed this. It's been a busy week, and so I wanted to make sure I got this out. I know it's usually in the mornings, but I wanted to make sure you got this on Sunday. And most importantly, happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there. I will talk to you all in the next one. Thanks.